Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something absolutely massive. Literally, we're talking about canyons, those breathtaking, giant scars running across our planet's surface. We're going to explore exactly how water, combined with deep time, has managed to carve these incredible signatures into the Earth.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Have you ever wondered what it actually takes for water and time to carve out such insanely deep marks into our world? It's a question that really forces us to wrap our heads around the mind-boggling power of nature and, frankly, millions of years of pure geological patience.
Here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll hit up the world's record-breaking canyons. Then, check out some global natural wonders. After that, we'll zoom in on Turkey's unique formations. And finally, we'll wrap up with some epic adventure and history routes.
Starting us off with Section 1, record-breaking canyons. These are the true global geological giants.
Now, what's really interesting here is how we're talking about mind-blowing geographical records from 4 totally different corners of the globe. Tibet's Yarlung-Tangpo, it absolutely takes the crown for being the largest and deepest on Earth. Down in Africa, Namibia's Fish River claims the title for the continent's largest rift. Over in Europe, Montenegro's Tara River holds the record for depth. And then you have South Africa's Blyde River Canyon, the largest subtropical canyon on the planet, completely carpeted in this lush, vibrant green. It just goes to show extreme geology literally knows no borders.
When you hear the word canyon, I bet you instantly picture the Grand Canyon in the US, right? But hold on a second. Consider this fact. Mexico's Copper Canyon is actually a wider and deeper network than the Grand Canyon. It's a fantastic little reality check that completely recalibrates our mental scales. Moving right along to Section 2, Global Natural Wonders. We're shifting focus here from pure size to incredible colors and shapes. So the title Grand Canyon of Europe actually goes to the Verdun Gorge in France. And why is that? Just try to picture this. Intensely brilliant turquoise waters slicing straight through massive towering limestone cliffs. It's totally stunning, and it absolutely earns that majestic title. Now here is where extreme geography and ancient history just perfectly collide. Peru's Colca Canyon isn't just ridiculously deep. If you look up, you'll see these massive Andean condors just soaring above you. And even crazier, the steep slopes are still layered with the remains of ancient Inca terrace farming. It's this wild, dramatic mix of hardcore wildlife and human survival. And this brilliantly illustrates that canyons aren't always these miles-wide, gaping voids. Take a slot canyon, for example. These are formed when water violently rushes through impossibly narrow rock spaces over time, carving out smooth, curving sandstone walls. Arizona's Antelope Canyon, with its famous light beams, is the textbook example here. Make sure you keep that definition in your back pocket, because I've got a really cool surprise location for you in just a minute. Let's move to Section 3, Turkey's unique canyons, and see how this intense geology builds across some very diverse landscapes. I want you to just focus on this staggering number for a second. 400. That is 400 meters of sheer vertical cliff wall. That's the dizzying scale we're talking about at Tazi Canyon in Antalya. It's the kind of epic height that makes you feel incredibly tiny, which of course makes it an absolute magnet for nature photographers. Next up, we have 115. Staying in Antalya, this number represents the terrifying 115-meter plunge of Guver Cliff. It's a hauntingly beautiful, sudden drop-off created entirely by the slow, relentless erosion of the local karst terrain over time. Okay, remember that slot canyon definition we just talked about? Well, here is our surprise. Think about this. Turkey's Cehennem Deresi Canyon up in Artvin displays the exact same iconic slot canyon traits as Arizona's Antelope Canyon. In fact, in some spots, it astonishingly squeezes down to just 1 meter wide. It's practically a crack in the earth. Now, if we rapid fire through some of Turkey's other natural sanctuaries, we're looking at literal oxygen depots. You've got pristine, rugged trails in Borsa's Sansarak, the deep biodiversity and monumental trees of Karbuk's Yenica forests, and the icy pine-scented waters of Furnas in Kahramanmaraş. Throw in protected areas like Sulaklava, along with places like Gerdevit and Hajomer, and you've basically got a massively rich geological playground for hikers. Bringing us to our final stop, Section 4, Adventure and History Routes. Time for some high-action activities and ancient paths. So, the crucial point to take away here is the extreme variety of action these rifts offer.
Notice the intense contrast. On one hand, you have hardcore winter ice climbing up the frozen, high-altitude walls of Erzurum's Ejdar Canyon. On the other hand, you've got warm, traditional rock climbing hotspots like Lamass and Balakaya. The climate completely flips, but that raw call to adventure, it's exactly the same.
And think about how we actually interact with these spaces today. At Kapuzbashi, you literally have waterfalls bursting right out of the solid rock faces. At Sapadaderi, you can wander along elevated wooden paths just to take a plunge into a freezing natural pool. Over at Goksu, you're navigating a massive karst valley complex. Or, if you're feeling brave, you can step out over the absolute void on a giant glass observation terrace at Chetak Canyon. You're not just observing nature here. You are standing right in the middle of it.
This brings us to a spot where sheer geology meets ancient civilization. At Ainali Canyon in Amasya, human history is quite literally carved right into the towering rock walls along the river. These massive, monumental rock tomb facades basically turn the destructive power of a canyon into a permanent, awe-inspiring exhibition of human art. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I have to ask you, from the endless, record-breaking depths of Tibet to the icy, vertical walls of Erzurum, which of nature's giant rifts are you going to conquer first? Hopefully, this journey has given you a newfound appreciation for the Earth's awesome patience and raw power. Keep learning, keep exploring, and we'll catch you next time.